Okay, well, welcome everyone to the AI Executive Roundtable. And we are here at we're episode number 8. Yes, episode number 8. And my name is Dale Tidd, and I am your host for today. And I just want to welcome everyone to another, hopefully another exciting, another interesting episode as we traverse the world of AI. And so what is the Executive Roundtable? We are in partnership with the Pamper Me Network and AI B2B, which is a company in which myself, full disclosure, and a group of individuals own as well. And what we do essentially is we provide integration systems and services for companies across North America. And the Executive Roundtable is a daily show where we focus on unlocking the limitless potential of AI for your business. Now, when we're talking specifically about businesses, yeah, it is specifically for business. So if you're a business owner, business CEO, executive for business, and you're looking to use AI in your business, we have a very interesting show on today, actually, because we're going to be talking about AI fatigue. And are we past the AI hype cycle? Is it a lot of AI hype? Is that what we're dealing with right now? So that said, a bit about me. I've been in the technology industry for the last 35, going on 4 years now. I remember my first job in tech was a sales job with a guy who was willing to give me a chance because he saw promise in me. He gave me a chance to sell a computer system. To sell, I should say, and there's a whole bunch of products, and he says, here's a phone book, and here is our products. Okay, here's a phone book, and here's a phone. So if you sell something at the end of the day, you keep your job. If you don't sell something at the end of the day, you gotta go. that was my introduction into tech. And yes, if you're wondering, I did sell something at the end of the day. I sold a computer ribbon to Air Canada. Yeah, a guy at Air Canada, he wanted the ribbon. And there was a storm on, crazy storm on at the time. And he wanted that ribbon. And I said, you know what? Doesn't matter what's happening with the storm. I'm going to go and I'm going to drop off that ribbon. And I'm going to show him how dedicated and committed we are to his business. And you know what? Dropped it off, and I think we received thousands and thousands of dollars from business from Air Canada after that. So yeah, that was my introduction to the tech, and after that, I could go on for hours about my background in this particular space, working with IBM, working with Microsoft, or less 30 years. I could talk about my background, my career, but we're here to talk about AI and how AI is transforming your life, how AI is transforming societies, organizations, how AI is transforming all of our lives, and we're really excited to share that with you today. Okay, so I'm looking at our systems here. All right, so our co-host is Alex Volpe. He brings about 20 years of technology experience as well to the table. So together, because of our background, but because of our experience and background, we have some diverse views and opinions on how we think the world of AI should be. But let's face it, I heard yesterday we are at an inflection point in society right now. That means that depending on how companies, governments, organizations implement this new tool that we have available to us, depending how we put policies and structures and systems around this new tool, will determine how the future will be. Yes, it's that crazy, it's that critical. So we got to make sure that we implement this tool the right way for the future of our children, our children's children, and for future generations. And if we don't, we can either go down the road of utopia using AI, and I'm not too sure if you saw the movie. Has some good principles to it, but not so good, right? I don't, have I ever seen an AI movie in the future where they use AI and technology for the betterment of people, where everything turns out good? Let me think. I think there's probably one, but there's always some way that we were able to take technology, twist it, and manipulate it for bad, right? So, or there's some large organizational structure that takes control of everything, and I think quantum. I can't remember, but there's so many different shows and that depicts the potential future of AI. And to be honest with you, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out if there actually is one movie out there where we talk about the positive aspects of the future, where AI is actually helping our lives and improving our lives and improving the quality of our lives. Of course, I'm probably going to come to maybe a movie with Tom Cruise. What's it called? I can't remember. But other than the fact that they're using AI to predict crime, but not necessarily AI. They're using people instead of AI, or using AI and people to predict future crime. I'm not too sure whether that is a positive aspect of using AI or not, but who knows? But like I said, have there really been a future prediction of AI where we're using AI to the benefit of society? I'm having difficulty to find out determine whether or not there is or not. So if you have an opinion, you have a view of that, please let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing the positive aspects with AI. But everyone I've seen is pretty much dystopian. Because let's face it, negative dystopian type of future of AI, those sell. Right? Those type of movies sell because everyone wants to look at the bad stuff anyway. But in any case, if you have a recommendation, suggestion, let me know and we can have a chat about it. But in any case, when it comes to this session today, we're going to have, if you find value in what we're providing today for you, if you find that it benefits you in any whatsoever, do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, because we're trying to grow our number of viewers. Subscribe to the channel. We're growing a number of subscribers. Like and share this stream with other people so that more and more people can learn about it. More people could get access to it as well. And of course, if you have a service, a technology, a solution, if you have a business in which you implement AI to improve people's lives in any way whatsoever, we want to hear about it. Okay, so send us a private message and let's have a conversation. Let's discuss it. So we can meet you, talk to you, and making sure that the product, the service, and the solution that you have really provides a really great benefit to people. So by all means, send it over to us, let us know what it's about, and then we can essentially take it from there. Okay, so that's it right now. Oh, also, our show is not like a lot of shows that's out there, by the way, because a lot of these shows are showing product demos and all this stuff. Well, we're here from a business perspective. What really makes us different than a lot of the shows that's out there is that, or these channels that's out there, is what really makes us different is that we, because of our technology background, because of our relationship with AI B2B, because of that, because we are in the field every single day working in tech. So we're not tech enthusiasts that's talking about tech. We're actually in the field. We deal with customers. We work with clients every single day. So we have experience working in the field on a continual basis. And also, when it comes to working with individual organizations, we provide you with the latest updates and information in terms of how technology is impacting people's lives, and we evaluate these products. We evaluate the solutions. We evaluate them to make sure that they're actually impacting people, and we rate them. We scale them as well. So that said, hey, Alex.
Dale, how are you, man?
Good. You are coming in loud and clear. How am I sounding, by the way?
You're sounding fantastic. You got a new machine going on?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So I should lower my voice here. Okay. All right. Awesome. Alex, I just completed our introduction and about who we are, what we do. And again, I just want to recommend and suggest request. Again, if you find value in what we're sharing with you guys today, by all means, share, like, and subscribe. Okay, so let's jump in. So what are we doing today, Alex?
Well, I'm excited for our guest today. I don't know if you've covered that yet. So maybe we want to get into that a little bit before he comes in.
I think that yeah. Let's talk about that for a bit before he jumps in. Now, the topic for our guest today. We're going to have Dave Dwarakan. He is the CEO of AI B2B. And he joins us every Thursday, by the way. And what he's going to do, he's going to bring in his background, his experience, his understanding in terms of where technology is going, where AI is going. So today he wanted to talk about a topic about AI fatigue, the different dimensions of AI fatigue, by the way. So there's a lot of information about AI for businesses right now. I mean, we checked, there's like 10,000 plus different tools that are available to companies. But the real question is it really helping people? Right?
Yeah.
Is it really making a difference in people's lives? Right.
Is it
That's the
bringing
question.
more noise, maybe? Right.
Pardon me? What's
Is
that?
it bringing more noise, maybe?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Is it really helping people, Alex? You think? What's your or just these companies just making money
Yeah.
off of this?
So at a point right now, I think there's a lot of confusion of what AI is really good for. I think that generally speaking, because it's still very new, right? We're still hitting this. It's really, to be honest, I mean, it's many years old, but it's really just kicked off the past few years, right, with OpenAI. And I think right now there's still a lot of noise. I mean, I think we're in a phase that we're trying to find practical usage of it, and there's a lot of avenues still being explored in that area, from a business perspective, but also from a creative individual perspective. But there's definitely a lot of noise, right? And this is part of the reason why I think we decided to start the roundtable to kind of clear that out, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. And I don't know. I'm hopeful that eventually we'll have technology that will be able to make a difference in people's lives. Are you there?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah.
1 second. I'm just trying to get my screen back here. I think I lost you. Where'd you go?
I'm still on.
Yeah, I think I lost you
Your
here.
control panel, right? You got a swordfish setup, I imagine. You got a. You seen that movie?
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. Okay, here. Oh, here. Okay, great. I'm back. Okay, great. So, yeah, there are definitely lots of options available out there, and we can look at. Okay, let me ask you the question. Here's a question: what areas, if you had to choose, what areas would you like to see AI make the biggest difference in? What would that be for you?
Ooh, that's a really good one. I guess in a sense, democratizing, innovation, right? There's different places, like areas like creativity, that are restricted. So people, like, for example, what we're seeing with AI right now in the digital area, digital art space, is people who don't have graphic design talent, but they have a vision for something. So I really like what I'm seeing, where in terms of, like, you don't necessarily have to be talented. Like, for example, myself, I wish I was able to draw, like the old school with a pen and paper. You'd have
Yeah,
something in your mind and be able to do that. And it's like, it's, whether you have it or you don't have it. And I think AI, like, I love seeing the artistic side come out of it,
yeah,
and the expressive side come out of it personally.
yeah. Artistic, expressive, but I'm talking more direct impact on society and people's lives. I'm talking about uh, in healthcare.
Okay, like
And
sectors. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
healthcare for sure, research and development.
yeah,
We're seeing already that happening, but also I think we kind of discussed once, like, how we were talking. I think one of our one-on-ones, we're talking about how AI can be used for, like, danger zones, rescue operations,
yes, yes.
deep mining, where you don't want to send people down there, like sending AI robotics under the ocean. We're already seeing a lot of that right now, but kind of increasing that high radiation level zones, exploring
So,
those kinds of areas.
but how does that impact your day to day life?
Well, it's going to be a chain of events of action, but generally speaking, the day-to-day impact would probably be the healthcare sector for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. You know what? The question really is that going to trickle down to me, to you, right? Let's just say that we use AI, we crunch the data, we do the analysis, and all of a sudden now, when it comes to the yield, like food yield, for crop yield, and uses of different types of technology in the soil, in the crops, right? But making it healthy. So that from that perspective, weather prediction, weather analysis, right?
Agricultural, farming, weather. Yep.
Yeah, that'll trickle down to us eventually because it's going to hopefully impact our daily lives. Because now they're able to do food production a much more sustainable way. But again, the question is, I'm I gotta say, I'm definitely cynical when it comes to governmental bodies. I used to be very, very optimistic. I used to be very, very positive. I used to be one like, yay, go government. They're there to help us. They're there to support us. They're there to impact our lives and make our lives better. Government is great. We love government. But over the years, it's become a lot more, how do you say, when you've been disappointed over and over and over and over again, you kind of like, it kind of leaves a taste with you. So the question is, the government and technology and businesses, are they going to come together to make our life easier, or are the government's going to come together to make companies and organizations' lives easier? Case in point, okay? You guys are not going to be happy with what I'm going to say here, okay? Case in point, we're in Canada, not too sure, well, Ontario specifically, I'm not too sure about the rest of Canada, but I'm sure certain parts of North America may have implemented this. You go into a grocery store today, right? They can't give you a plastic bag.
Yeah.
They won't give you a plastic bag, right? But you go in the store, everything is wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
Everything's wrapped in plastic. Cucumbers, cauliflower, spinach. It now comes in boxes. The apples, they comes in bags. Everything is wrapped in plastic. So therefore, to get a plastic bag to carry all my stuff, I can't get that. But I can. But everything I take with me is all wrapped in plastic. Help me understand that. Help me understand that, please. Right? That's a pet peeve of mine. Plastic is everywhere, but consumers are now or can't use plastic, but the government, these large corporations, they're able to wrap everything in plastic.
That's right.
And yet, where are the environmental groups saying, no to this? Because as far as I see, plastic usage has gone up 3 or 4 times, right? Because why do I need a plastic bag for my cucumber? Why do I need to wrap my cucumber in plastic? So it's gone up a whole. Of course, I know there's probably some safety issues around it as well. But my point is that when it comes to government policy and structure and using AI, let's just say that I'm skeptical.
Yeah, you're raising a good point. It's almost like government and corporations teaming up and getting the consumer to pay the bill, right? Another thing, like in the US, there was this talk, I don't know if they were being hyperbolic, but like banning gas stoves, right? So like, how much does that really impact the environment versus, all the pollution that these factories are producing, right? But they want to, there's a deal being made clearly that, we put the responsibility onto the people. So I see what you're saying, but I also see the other side of it too, because the plastic bag thing, it's like, the old school way was you did carry your own bag, right? It was a knitted, it was like a textile bag, and you just keep shopping that way.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I agree with you. Yeah, there's got to be another way, but just the double-sidedness.
Yeah,
of it, that's the issue. Hey, let's get rid of plastic bags. I'm all for it. Right?
Go all the way. Right.
Yeah. Provide an alternative. Right. But then again, those alternative bags that we're using, whether they are, they're not 100% cloth, by the way. Part of it is actually part of those bags. Some of those bags are actually a mix of fabric, which, of course, if you actually look at the ingredients, they're plastic, right? Those bags. It's not 100% cloth, right? Depending on where you go, by the way. But again,
what else I've noticed? This is kind of a side note, but when I'm shopping grocery store buying produce, those thin plastic bags you put like the apples and the oranges and stuff, they've gotten thinner. They've gotten thinner. I can't tell you how many times they've ripped on me. While I'm loading it up, it just goes right through. Yeah. So it's like they're cutting costs everywhere, but we got to be the ones to cut the bill, right?
I know, exactly. But I guess that's our cynicism when it comes down to to government and corporations and how they can implement AI. And do we really trust the government to really download a lot of those benefits, a lot of those savings, a lot of those advancements for technology for people, right? And I'm thinking, no, they won't. But we'll see. We'll see. We're still early, very, very early days. Okay, so Dave is going to be joining us soon. But before we do that, let's just jump into our partner here. I always like to go to our partner's website because people are posting on this site. This is by the Pamper Me Network. People are posting on the site all the time. So share your AI tools and get featured instructions in description. Okay, so AI tools, artificial intelligence support for creators and small businesses. Still at 5,600. I think we just hit 5,600 yesterday. That's climbing. We're going to be at, like I said, we're going to be at 10,000 very, very quickly. And I was talking to the owner of this platform, and I share with him. There's another AI artificial intelligence group out there with 3.2 million members, and I'm pretty confident we are going to get to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million members. I'm pretty confident about that. And the moderation with that, man, currently, can you imagine how many posts they get every single day?
No, I can imagine only. Yeah.
You know, 10,000 posts a day, man. You know, that would be crazy.
There's going to have to be a filtering for sure.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to come back to Dave when he comes on, joins us. So let's just take a look at how are fitness trainers using AI. That's a pretty good discussion. Okay.
That's interesting. Let's take a look at that.
You want to take a look at it?
Yeah, let's see a couple of bullet points. I'd like to hear how AI can be integrated that way.
So this article actually is on the Pamper Me Network, how fitness trainers are transforming workouts with AI. Now, keeping in aligned with our theme today, this is a good way potentially, not only trainers, but individuals using AI to improve their fitness. That is a definitely implementation of AI. Okay, let's just jump in here. The integration of artificial intelligence in the fitness industry is reshaping how personal trainers and coaches operate. Okay. Far from replacing human element, AI serves as a powerful tool that enhances trainers' ability to deliver personalized, efficient, and results-driven solutions. Well, pretty straightforward. You go into ChatGPT, you type in the prompt, and I'm trying to lose 10 pounds today. Provide me with a meal plan. That's one particular way, right? But let's continue. One of the most impactful uses of AI is the ability to deliver a hyper-personalized training program, which is true. When was the last time you've been to the gym?
Years, maybe like 6 years ago, to be honest with you.
You're in shape, man. Look at you.
Well, I use the outdoors for my rec.
That makes a lot of sense. I haven't been to the gym since I think probably February this year.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, February, March, April. No, actually, April of this year. I haven't been to the gym. I have to get back. About that time frame. Let's continue reading on.
You're mentioning one thing into that. One of the most powerful use cases I see for this is that, how often do you see a personal trainer? Once, twice a week, right? But those days that you don't have that personal trainer, this is where the AI can come in and keep that momentum up, whether it's through a diet, whether it's through a home regimen, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Let's see. That's true. But I don't know. AI platforms analyze an individual fitness level, body composition, and goals to create a custom workout routine. Unlike traditional methods, are they speaking here to the already, the already committed? Guess what we're turning into? Guess what happens at the beginning of each year, by the way? What happens every year, January 1st? Right? Let's see if we're thinking on the same page. What happens every year, January 1st?
Everyone makes
promises.
The whole world. Right?
Promises. That's right.
Yeah, like new me, new year, new me, right?
Exactly. They try to make these it's the New Year's resolution, right? And people are saying, hey, let's just make some different choices this year, right? If I were you and you're watching this and it's this time of year, don't wait until next year. Okay, don't wait until January. Do it now. Start now. Start making the changes now. right?
So when you hit 2025, you're already in mid
You've
sprint.
already
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, you're already in the pathway of the cycle. Okay. Personalization. Here we go. Let's see. Unlike traditional methods that rely on generalized templates, really, I'm not too sure. If you're a trainer, right? If you're a trainer,
Yeah.
you're going to use personalized tools anyway. You're not going to bring someone a generalized templates. You're going to actually look at their body composition. You're going to send them through testing. Hopefully, send them to the doctor. You're going to get some results in terms of their heart rate, in terms of what their limitations are. And then you, as a trainer, will customize the training, coaching, mentoring for them.
Yeah.
Because would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in this day and age, right? I mean, the last thing people are being attracted to is the out-of-box solutions, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for personalized, especially when it comes to coaching and training.
That's right. I think here is where AI can help. It's this the real time based performance metrics. That is where AI can really help.
I agree.
Yeah. Crunching the data, analyzing information, and
projections, right? Giving projections. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's really where AI can really provide the benefits, because if you're off track, you're not going to know until maybe the end of the week, end of the month, if you're off track, and then you're going to have to grind through getting yourself back on track. But now with AI, if you're off your track, whether it's your health goal, maybe it's a running goal, maybe it's a weight goal, maybe it's an eating goal, maybe it's it can actually do the real time projections and recommend changes on the fly, and kind of bring you back on track on a continual basis, as opposed to when you check into it, it's just information you put into it.
Yeah.
Then you get the results out. But AI could actually do like remote monitoring of your situation. So that's definitely a good solution.
And it gets to know you, right? Because it's learning as well, learns your behavior, and it can respond according to that. So I mean, it's very helpful in that sense. Yeah.
That's right. From apps like MyFitnessPal and Future and MyFitnessPal and Future integrate AI applications to modify plans based on our activity, ensuring optimal progress without overtraining. That's actually pretty good, because I have a tendency to overtrain. I have a tendency to kind of like do too much. I want to see results now.
That could be counterproductive. Be careful with that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not even sharing the right screen here.
We're seeing the Facebook.
Yeah. Let me share the screen. I thought I was sharing the screen here, but
oh, you had the article open, right?
Yeah. That's a good thing to remember for next time.
Okay,
here you go. Here's the article. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah. So number 2, virtual coaching, real-time feedback. Yeah. AI-powered virtual trainers. So I'm not even a real trainer, a virtual trainer, not even a live person anymore. Or is it? Right? And real-time feedback. Are providing real-time feedback during workouts. Okay. So do you need a trainer now? Do you still need a trainer? Right?
I don't know. Some people still like that draining the gym buddy atmosphere, right? So
I
think trainers are still going to definitely be around for sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't personally, Yeah, personally, I would want to do it without having someone to kind of coach me and guide me through the process.
Yeah,
right?
Form is really important. They're going to have to demonstrate. The AI can't really do that.
Exactly. Hey, Alex,
until they integrate robots.
Yeah. Can you continue going through this article here? I gotta attend to something right now. Okay. Continue
going through the article. So let's take a look. Do you have the link you can send to me?
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. Okay, here is the link. Yeah. Okay, there's a link. Okay, check it out.
Yeah, let me see if it opens. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not opening. Oh, it looks like Dale just bounced. So basically, I guess we're going to be. Oh, Dave is here. Dave, welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you
Good
for
seeing you
joining
all
us. I'm
again.
not sure. I think looks like Dale jumped out to find you, but it looks like you're here. So we're just going to give it a second here. Like make sure Dale knows we're all fine here. Um, but in the meantime, how are you today?
Very good. I'm getting ready for the first snowstorm.
I know
So,
they announced that,
yeah.
didn't it?
Well, we
Yeah,
need the snow. No two ways about it. But I don't
just
know
so,
how much at a time is the question.
yeah. So just so the viewers know, we already announced that we're all in Canada. So you as well, you're in Southern Ontario with us. So yeah, we're going to be experiencing that very soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. So Dale, okay, great. Dale is back. Dale, Dave
Yes.
has joined
Hey,
us. So
welcome,
maybe you
Dave.
want to remove the actual article that we have here so we can have a three-way screen.
Sure. There you go. Hey, Dave. Awesome. Oh,
How are
here
you
you go. Sorry.
guys?
Doing fantastic. Excited for our
Good. Good.
conversation today.
All right. So let's before we jump in, Dave, we did a bit of an introduction about the topic today. So the topic today is tackling AI fatigue. Okay. So Dave, uh, um, let's talk about Dave. Dave is AI. Sorry, Dave is CEO of AI B2B. He has experts spanning IT, business development, data science, and David can share with us his insights in deploying AI solutions that optimize operations, enable data-driven solutions, and foster sustainable growth. Uh, this episode, we're going to address how businesses can move beyond burnout by adopting a data-first approach and focusing on tailored solutions that create real impact rather than focusing on the hype. We're looking at how AI can really provide real sustainable impact in your business. So, Dave, can you touch on what you mean by AI fatigue so we're all on the same page with that?
Sure, why not? Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me today. It's always a pleasure to be around you guys. Um, so today, my topic is a little negative. So,
No, that's not negative at all.
I'm
It's
just
actually
kidding.
very
I'm just
important.
We have to explore the dark side too
Yeah, it's
eventually,
very, very
right?
important.
No, it's just, to keep the audience attention. I may not have something exciting to start with, but it's fatigue. So it sounds very little medical, but it's not medical. It's just the challenges that you go through, right? Um, so any new thing that comes with a lot of excitement, a lot of hype, a lot of interest from research, academic, then business, then public. So the research and academics, they don't get fatigued because there's always something exciting for them. This is what they do. That's my view of looking at it. Uh, I am just a small portion on the research side, while developing new products and understanding how the industry is going. But when you take the next segment, if it is the business adoption, unlike other technology or other changes or other revolution that what we have seen in the recent past, the amount of information and the amount of innovation and the amount of choices coming at you in this AI, even if you take a segment within a segment, there's so much coming at you, and everybody want to be part of it. Everybody want to accept, doesn't want to miss it and all that. And then even myself, I always find myself going into this rabbit hole,
Yeah.
not to become an expert, but to understand and what's next. And yeah, the fatigue sets in a very simple way, right? uh, I don't know how you guys manage. You guys are researching tools. Just for the information, there's 6,000 out there, it seems, as of right now, that is visible. You can find these 6,000 tools. um, and the pipeline is not ended, right?
Yeah.
We're not even scratching the surface. And the interesting part is that how do we not fall for this fatigue or this syndrome or whatever you want to call it, yet stay relevant and deal with this important change in technology evolution or technology changes. Because as I tell my friends, don't miss this, right? You don't have to agree with me, you don't have to like me, but don't miss this.
Yeah.
Because at first when you try talking as a technology, they know I'm in business, so the first impression is other businesses might think I'm trying to sell or promote something. But I walk away with that and say, hey, don't miss it. Find somebody who can help you, find somebody who can guide you in the process, right? um, so generally speaking, fatigue is you may go through frustration because of the number of choices. That's one angle you want to understand. So don't get
Well, when
frustrated, right?
well look at this thing. Here's just one of many different websites, right?
Yeah.
All
Right.
Database.
GPTs, yeah, at instant access. Discover and free to try over 10,000 top GPTs in direct is directly without ChatGPT Plus, right? So
Right.
here, when it comes to GPT 10,000, do we really need 10,000? Right? I mean, like, I appreciate the creativity, right,
Yes.
of people
Yes.
actually, plugging in and uh, you know, all these different tools available. But man, 10,000 different tools. It'll take you hours and hours and hours, right? SEO enhancement, 472 tools for SEO enhancement. Content summarization, 336 tools, right? Digital art, 1,394. Creative inspiration, 2,300. I mean, like, how could you possibly go through all these different tools?
Yeah.
It
That's right.
is crazy, crazy. And I know you can go to different. If we go to different websites that rate these tools, that bring the top tools to the top, and the one that actually survive go to the bottom. But the question is, look at all these options that's available. It could easily be very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why the frustration can set in very quickly, and then you may end up buying, subscribing to certain things, and then you figured out your skill level has to be, even though it comes as okay, it's 9.99 and it solves your problem on that sector, but then there's another skill level that you need to understand and use it. So this may even lead to decreased productivity because you're going after these tools to become productive, and then every time you spend more time to solve a problem and it becomes a challenge, and you're investing more time because you want to get to the bottom of it, and you're not finishing what you're supposed to do. It's an inevitable process there. So your productivity may look like decreasing, and you may get distracted, or even your staff, your employees might be also in this rabbit hole on their own, trying to stay on top of this. Then another problem comes in. How do I recommend this to my boss? How do I recommend this to my senior management? How do I recommend to this my I need this, but then there is 10,000 of it. Can I sign off on this product? Can I recommend this from a bottom up, and then from a top down? Can I let this particular tool be adapted into the organization and industry? So then it becomes a decision paralysis. Another fatigue sets in through that. Then also you need to have as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you also have to work on the ethical concerns of whether you're infringing copyright or creative rights or laws for that matter, right? And then then if you set all these things up, you do this for a couple of weeks and you're going to get a burnout. You need to go for a vacation and come back. Okay, let me reset myself, right? So one of the things that what I do myself is I try to pick one or two areas that I'm very keen and interested in, and I'll go to the depth of it. I'm like, for example, my search
Well,
is,
Dave,
yeah.
you have a solution, you have an option in terms of how you could manage fatigue. But I think that you're absolutely right when it comes to burnout and fatigue. I'm sure you're very familiar with Gartner, right? They've been around since, I don't know, as long as I've been in the technology industry. Gartner is a very well known reporting organization. They do an analysis on the tech industry. They've been around for many years. Very trusted source. And
Right.
here they have a report on Gartner warns of Gen AI fatigue. So not only are we seeing fatigue for AI on small corporations, small individuals, there's an avalanche of resources and tools and challenges on the smaller corporations, but then larger organizations, larger companies are facing the same thing, right? And in this article, it says that as organizations driven in part by user interest and leadership anticipation of the possibilities, continue to invest time and resources. Are you seeing my screen? Okay. Yeah. Time and resources. Let me make sure you see my screen. Okay, good. Time and resources into possibilities that AI and practically generative AI offers. We are approaching what industry observers are now referring to as AI fatigue. You're dead on. After almost a year of generative AI hype, it hasn't been very long. It's only been 2 years since the
That's
announcement
right.
of OpenAI. Just 2 years. Trend fatigue is hitting business leaders and organizations hard. Gartner Global Chief of Research Chris Howard suggests a surprising fix. Okay, let's see what you were just talking about the solution a couple of seconds ago. Let's just
No,
see
not
here.
really. This is better because this is also just, I want to note, it's for enterprise and down, right? So
That's
if
right.
we
That's
can
right.
learn from those lessons, we can always apply to the mid
That's right. That's
to
right.
small
Here's a
business as
fix.
well.
Here's what Chris
Definitely
Howard says.
go ahead.
Take a breather from chasing trends to gain perspective. A wider lens reveals an emerging technologies converge. A wider lens reveals how emerging technologies converge and connect over time, fueling better actions in the here and now. He says basically, put the brakes on, take a breather, relax,
Yeah.
right?
This
Just
is
calm
another
down.
form of like shiny object syndrome, right? When you're focusing on one thing, you just keep bouncing to other things because they're piquing interest. And
That's
the
right.
same advice: step back, shut down, and reevaluate, kind of thing.
That's right. Take a breather, relax, reevaluate. And I think that that's a good strategy to begin with. But I think that I'm not too sure about you, but when I go into my feed, maybe it's because of my algorithm, when I go into my Instagram, my Facebook, YouTube, AI everywhere. Right. Of course, if you're looking at health stuff, you're going to have health stuff based on what you're searching, right? But for the most part, because we're in the space, we're getting access to the information all the time. But how does someone like a mom pa shop, they're a bakery, right? They've been around for 10, 15 years or so. How do they not get caught up in all the hype of AI and get swapped up in the AI fatigue? How do they deal with that?
So one of the things that I would recommend is that depending on your technology know-how, knowledge, um, of especially adapting to new or changing technology, because a lot of people now they know they're using certain level of technology in their businesses. Their skill level may vary, but they adapted, they're using it. Now it's the next turnover, next change is coming. So you need to go back to your IT team or your IT friends or your technology friends, and don't be broad. Don't try them to solve all your problems in one shot. Be very specific on
Yeah.
what that makes a difference in your day-to-day business operation, or what is the only one, two, three things that you would like that you don't want to do, maybe the technology can do. If you can do your own research that specifically that narrow, and meditate on it, and not let the search engine optimization chase you down like what Dale was saying, and then also adapt go to Gartner reports or some industry experts, established expert reporting on, they have a very interesting way of evaluating technology and also setting standards and pros and cons, and then also cost. Just because it's all shiny, beautiful, wonderful, and it's recommended on Gartner, it made the list, but then what is the cost? And then what is your skill sets that you can adapt? So if you can, again, going back to focus on what impact that you're looking for, it still comes with a little bit of trial and error because of the tool set itself is maybe it's a little bit broader or it's way too narrow. So you have to do a little bit of adaptation on that. Um, I
Yeah.
don't believe in all-in-one tool. We haven't seen that yet. Everybody claims all-in-one tools, but everybody has a specialty. Every tool has a specialty. Every tool has a niche. So in AI, what we are saying is a combination of few things coming together to help you do a task. I have seen people creating on the generative AI. They go to one platform that is very good on creating some initial levels. Then they take that content, put it in another AI, and that refines and fine tunes and adds its specialty elements. And then they take that and put into another one. It creates the rest of the things. Now you have
Yeah.
three different AIs, but it's doing the same thing. But because the way the models are built and the way the specialization is provided, now you have a solution that you can really look at it, present it, think about it, write it, all those things. So um, this is something like, let's say, the speed of things is where the confusion is coming in. The speed at it is coming, the changes, and it's not perfect yet, right? No perfect AI tool is there yet, if I can claim that. They're all good, if not very good, and they are getting better by the second, by the minute, because it's machine learning, it's adapting. Researchers putting in more thought processes. They're solving the challenges of errors and biases and other things, compute time and power, how much money it takes to run a model, and then they tweak it. So these things are continuously evolving. But if you look at some fundamentals, for example, your talent, your cost, and then basically who that you want to follow as an advisory into this in your industry, in your solution, or in your segment, market segment, or in your use cases. So if you categorize those ones, and then if you can follow them a little bit, you won't go into the rabbit hole most of the time. So
Hmm.
that's one strategy I would recommend. So I evaluate myself. How much coding do I know? How much tool that I, and if I go into a tool, okay, how much learning I have to do. So when I'm signing up for a product, if I get the chance to chat with them, I ask them openly, look, this is what my background, this is what I can do. How much learning do you think it's needed so I can plan it? They say 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 hours, 4 hours. But then remember, he's an expert telling from 10 hours. But then I have to adapt it. If it is 10, I'm going to double it 20. I'm not an expert. So that is going to help you before you subscribe or buy the tool. You have to allocate some time for it to sink in and work. So right now, what I am proposing to my business clients, and then is basically a consulting approach. Let me come and take a look at it. Let me understand it. Let me look at the challenge that we can address now and we can address later, and then we'll see. Nice to have things if everything works well. I would suggest that would be the easiest approach.
Yeah.
Um, and
So you,
and when you're
so
following
you
the
will help.
trends, it could be, yeah.
So you
Go
you will
ahead.
help a. So from a consultative perspective, if I understand you correctly, the approach is to be more analytical of the tools you're selecting, review the tools, the solutions, and map it back to a specific outcome. Or is that what you're suggesting? Can you summarize
Yes.
that once again? So on repeat.
So this is me, right? I am 25% techie, 50% strategy, 25% entrepreneur. So if you bring this mix together, Um, so my approach is that if you could be 75% techie and 25% business owner, then your approach will be much more deeper diving than me. But because of my understanding of how
But when it
businesses
comes to
work, how efficiencies
when it
come
comes to
in,
most of the business most of the businesses that I've dealt with so far, most of them are 90%, 90% business and maybe 5-10% techie or tech avoidance. They want to avoid tech at all costs,
Yeah.
and they'd
right,
rather give it over to somebody else to take care of. Because when it comes to a business, you got your sales, your marketing, your website, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter. You got all these different elements that you got to manage. You got employees. You got production. You have inventory. I mean, like, there's a lot of operational stuff you got to take care of from a business development perspective. A lot of the people that I've spoken to from a business perspective, they don't have the time, the space, the energy, the effort to kind of dig into the tech. That's why they hire someone who, let's say, a Facebook expert, because they're in it every single day. And the rate of change with Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and Twitter, these things are changing all the time. So it's impossible to keep up with that. So
Yeah.
having someone
absolutely.
tech, being tech, and running a business, I think most of the people that you're reaching out to, they're probably mostly business and less tech. And so they need somebody to kind of guide them through that process. They need someone to kind of walk them through and hold their hand so that they don't get overwhelmed with the tech. And it's so
Right.
easy to get overwhelmed with the tech.
But there's a slight difference than the previous generation of outsourcing. Um,
Ah, so this
so
this new generation, you're saying they're already coming tech enabled.
tech-enabled, also, if you
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
between, just say, Dale, since I know you, if you put a technology assessment between you and me, there's still a 90% gap, right? Even though I
Yeah.
take my courses, I upgrade myself, I follow it, but I'm not the actual coding side of things, not the
Yeah.
API connector. I'm not doing those things. So if you take you and me, that's the difference, right? So now you take that into a business environment, you're absolutely right. It could be 90%. But also, I wanted to note what my opinion about outsourcing is. The outsourcing has also become very streamlined. Okay, I want
Mm,
social media marketing. I hire somebody, done. Unfortunately, AI cannot be approached like that yet. I
mm.
hope it becomes commoditized soon, and then our Fivers and Upwork and all these platforms are going to support that. But still, you cannot just simply say outsource. You need to bring that strategy in. You need to bring that overall 30,000 feet, 10,000 feet view into this because of the mix of tools and various tools at various stages and who's behind the tools. And then another angle to that is the cybersecurity is not getting any better than in terms of technology may be getting better, but there are more attacks then privacy. There's more laws now, and the onus is
Mm.
back on the business owners now. Another bill passed, the onus is on the business owner. You have to. So the outsource is there, but as a small to medium business, how much can you completely outsource hands off versus here, this is a new type of outsource as a business owner, as a decision maker, as part, you have to be part of the process. So that's where I
I think
find very comfortable myself, sorry, just involving on the strategy and first setting the stage and helping them understand and okay, these are the elements. Now let's come up with the roadmap. How are we going to tackle this first, second, third strategies? And then yes, I would still outsource it. No two ways about it. um,
well, you said outsource a couple of times. Okay.
yes,
Now here's the challenge with a lot of businesses. Okay. When it comes to going external to a third party, especially in the AI space, the question is, for a lot of these companies, what mechanism, what process, what steps do they take? Can they take to make appropriate decisions? Is there a selection process or framework so that because when you're outsourcing, for example, I was looking for an SEO company, and I'm very skeptical when it comes to SEO, by the way, so you know, right?
Don't worry,
Um,
we have already moved away from that. We are going to AEO now. So
I know, right? Yeah,
you don't have to
exactly.
worry
AI,
about that too much.
yes. So, so when it comes to, yeah, you're absolutely right. So when it comes to AI and SEO, there's companies and providers right out there looking. So I was looking for an SEO company, and I have a tech background, so I'm very, very skeptical with these companies. So I looked at about 5 or 6 different companies. I went to their website. I checked on their website. I had the calls with them, conversations with them. I went through their sales cycle, sales process, and went through about 3 or 4 of them. They all sounded pretty good. And you know what I used at the end to make my decision? Right?
Another AI tool? Just kidding.
Nope.
Just
I
kidding.
use
It's
my
coming.
gut. I use my gut. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
It was just my gut. It was like, how does one person, my relationship with one, because they look all pretty much the same in terms of their what they can produce and their promises and what they could potentially provide to you. They all look the same. And at the end of the day, you know, based on my background, based on my history, based on dealing with them, I used my past experience to inform my future. But whether my past experience and what I've gone through the past is that really trustworthy,
Yeah.
right? Is it tainted by negativity, by past experience? So am I using that now to determine which one is the best one for the future? So is that a good framework to make that decision, or should I just basically put all of it through a ChatGPT and say I'm looking for SEO company to do some work for me? What is the 10 questions I need to ask them? Maybe that's a
Yeah,
good way
you have to
to
do
sort
that
it out.
too. You have to do that too. If that subject matter is not your expertise. And just
Exactly.
to add to that, Dale, you can go with the gut feeling because your level of technology awareness is more, and you can fix certain things by yourself, even if it lacks, right?
Well,
So, so
I actually selected the wrong company.
right?
Full
Yeah,
disclosure.
they were terrible. They were
Yeah,
terrible. They didn't perform
but
much.
then you could fix it, but you choose not to fix it, right? You don't want to build out that,
I
whatever is
didn't
the
have
gap
time for
there,
that.
right?
I didn't have time to fix it. You know, hey,
Yeah,
I'm paying you for a service, get it done. I'm checking every single week. You know,
Yeah.
am I increasing my ranking? And oh no, for that particular keyword, you know, you have to post. It was a mess.
that's
They
true.
didn't tell me that pre-sales, post-sales.
Right.
They told me what I had to do. So, you know.
So there is the simple answer is there's no magic bullet yet. So there's lots of uh, gut
Dave,
decision and
I thought
grit.
you, I thought you were going to say AI is the magic bullet.
Yeah, but you need
Yeah,
a
it's hard,
you
you
need a
guys, it's
machine
hard to
gun
get
then. You
magic
need a
bullet,
machine
right?
gun then. It's not one bullet. So
Yeah,
you have
machine gun. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So again, the question is there are guidelines. So
Mm,
depending on your industry, let's say for example, if you're handling private and confidential information of your clients and you're storing it, uh, yeah, or how you are managing it would be the first thing that you need to think about before adopting any tool. Is this data is going to be shared? Who has access to this data? Am I vulnerable by adopting this tool? Am I going to get exposed? So it's a data from a privacy and confidential information. For a lack of better example, let's say you're having patient records or patient details information from a medical. So absolutely, that's your first question you ask in my angle, right? Then you talk about other things. What am I trying to solve? Who's the best partner to do this? And then on the other side, if you're a large enterprise, it's a little bit easier. You can look for GDPR, SOC, HIPAA compliance. Those kind of things can help you to let your guard down a little bit. Okay, they are following these protocols, they are implementing certain systems. But when you get into a smaller businesses, especially in the AI tool segment, I don't think many people have been asked or told to follow these standards. So it is just a wild west right now. So few companies are self-regulating themselves to make sure that they are in that range of GDPR and SOC and HIPAA compliance. Um, but as I said, my simple answer is understand your data, talk to your team or experts. What am I need to protect here, and how am I going to be vulnerable by connecting these tools? The rest is manageable issues, I can say, right? The downtime, uptime, efficiencies, those things are all trial and error. You can manage it. It's not going to be a big challenge. And even if you get into a good tool environment, remember there is always a new release that the vendor is trying to stay competitive and making sure that he delivers this service to you guys. So if you select a reasonable vendor who's been around in technology, not necessarily new to tech and new to AI, that'll be a little concern to me. Um, but if they have already been in the tech industry, they understand the rest of the technology stack, and now they are also added the AI element with a specialty. So those kind of things can help you to select the right vendor. And again, have an open mind. There's going to be some learning curve from both sides if they're not specifically targeting an industry. Say, for example, some companies they do okay. I'm only doing real estate. That's it. So okay, you don't have to worry too much about it. They are vendors. They are the industry specific, and then they may have a lot of things that they have learned by implementing it. How many projects or how many agents they're working with. So you will have that learning curve in this, and then the vendors are also catching up. So even though there is 6,000, 10,000 products, very soon it's going to be down to um, hopefully a few hundreds industry wise.
Yeah.
Another interesting part is that where the technology is going is not prediction, is not a prophecy. A lot of us will be able to develop our own tools, own customization without being heavy on tech, on heavy on internal IT teams. You'll be able to develop certain solutions. If you look at how software industry has evolved, is even though there are big players, there's always so many smaller players. If you look at it, there is very simple softwares that somebody has specialized, and they have thousands of clients, and they're servicing it. And very big companies don't want to get into that. Now it has become much more easier. So you will be able to develop those specific tools in terms of your solution as well. Now that is getting almost commoditized because you
Yeah, I
don't
think
have to write code. You don't have to have an IT infrastructure cloud managing expert, right? If you want, you can take them and then and
I think
then
this I
yeah,
think the
that's
survival of these tools, the survival and the which rise to the top, we're going to map back our decision making process and systems that we currently have in place onto these tools, onto the technologies, onto the services,
yes,
and that system really is a rating system, right? So
right,
how do my wife is shopping at Amazon. What does she do? What does she do? She has one product compared to another product compared to
Yeah.
another product.
Reviews,
She looks
essentially.
at is check the reviews. That's the
Yeah.
only thing she does. Review, and all these reviews, whether it's 5 star, 7 star, 8 star reviews. I think that really is the decision making process for many individuals nowadays because they don't
right,
have time to really think. They don't think. People stop thinking, right? They don't
Yeah.
think anymore. They don't analyze. Critical thinking nowadays, when there's so many things that competing for people's attention. Who was it that coined the phrase? I think it was I can't remember. I can't remember his name, but basically he keeps on talking about. He started off with wine many years ago, and then he started a big business of wine. Gary Vaynerchuk, that's his. He says that the fight nowadays, today, it really is about grabbing the attention. That is the commodity. Is tension is a commodity today. And so when it comes to decision making processes, It really comes down to what other people are thinking about it, who have used the product. So nowadays, if you don't have a service, don't have a solution, and you're not getting good ratings, you may as well go out of business. Some companies live and die and succeed and exist solely on reviews. Without reviews, you're pretty much out of business. So from a service perspective, right? How can you provide a company with a solution to navigate through all that, right, and help them and guide them through this tool solution? Because I don't know, some companies, some individuals, while it might be great to tinker with, but you still have to invest the time, the resource, the effort, the energy, the thinking in order to build a custom tool specifically for your needs, for your requirements, or you outsource that to someone else, right? So how would you suggest navigating around that, so you're not buying into all the hype, but you're actually finding the best resources to help you to, at the end of the day, there's two things you care about as a business: saving money. Okay, three. Saving money, okay, reducing overall cost, generating more profit, increasing your margin, and five. Okay, four, making your employees happy, keeping them content and happy, and keeping your customers happy at the same time. So those are four major drivers.
Saving time as well, right?
What's that?
Saving time, I would add in there as well.
See,
Oh,
already you
optimize.
guys are going on the rabbit hole. You get
Yeah.
only one to choose.
That's
It is
how-
a rabbit hole, isn't it?
You can choose one, my friend. You can only choose one. See, this is why it's important, right? You
Yeah.
cannot have it all at the same time from a perspective of, I'm going to select a tool and it's going to deliver all these things, right? So some are strategic goals, some are long-time goals, some can be quantitative, some are qualitative, right?
Yeah.
So you have to really focus on it. To simply, if you want to select a tool, there are some guidelines you can do. First, understand the business needs and goals. Very simple, right? So right now you need to look at your competition a little bit more carefully, right? What if I do it? What if they do it first? How can I stay competitive on that? So understanding your business needs and goals, then evaluating an AI solution based on features, cost, and ease of integration, right? So features again has to tie back to your business needs and goals, and the cost. The best tool may not be cheap. At the same time, cheap tools not necessarily won't do the job. They can still do the job. Then the ease of integration, your level, your team's level, how much learning curve you have. What about your rest of the technology stack you have? Can it be? Or do you still need to upgrade your rest of the technology to integrate AI? The third one would be look for already use cases that those companies have, AI tools and platforms tailored for certain industry. Like for example, I have previously said like real estate, right, or mortgage, or any particular industry that you're in. If they're specialized in this industry, they claim to be, then you can focus and expect them to understand your business. As a business person, you can ask those questions, and you'll find out in 3 minutes. You'll find out whether they know your industry or not, right? Are they just coming from a theoretical point of view? Or get to the next level of engagement, not at the sales level, get to the management level and see if they have enough use cases that they can talk to you and solve the problem, right? Data privacy, don't forget that, very important, and security and data privacy. Then you may have concern about whether you need to lay off people and all those things. You're done. I don't know your industry specifically, but you want to look at that from a little bit of an ethical point of view. And how do you manage it? How do you transition your existing employees into the new realm of things that is you're trying to implement? So a little bit change management process, right? Then the complexity of this integration and how long it's going to take. Do I have to disrupt my ongoing business? You understand the complexity. Again, it can be only come out of a consultation process, and there's always a surprise when you start doing things. So be prepared for that. Then there is another angle to this. It's not just you install everything, you press the button, now you're ready to go. No, you're going to continuously learn and adapt because the tools are evolving, system is evolving, competition is evolving, rate of change is way too fast. So you have to have a policy approach that yes, you as a team, as a business, you're going to continuously learn and adapt as evolved with this tool and as your business or your industry changes. The potential risk is that you cannot 100% rely on decision making angles of AI. because they have biases, they have hallucination effects. They might be able, a very smart kid might be able to trick to get the prompt engineering done in a way that they can take out information out of your database. So biases and hallucination and your weaknesses is a potential risk that you need to understand. As a small business, you may not see it high priority, but if you get a good team, they will make sure those guardrails and those guidelines are set in place.
Yeah.
And also, again, you cannot 100% rely on the tools alone. There has to be a human intervention points, human touch. You have to interject that decision making sign off processes still there, as your data evolves, as your processes evolve, as your AI evolves. So that's very important for you to have that incorporated into your AI strategy, AI implementation, that human touch. Then the other
Dave,
side is
one of
if
the
you,
big trends,
yeah,
one of the big
go ahead.
trends that we see happening, I think we hear it everywhere. We talk about it as well. We didn't really dig deep into it yet. Maybe in a future episode, we're going to explore it very, very deeply, right? Um, the question that comes up and what was sparked in terms of your conversation was when it comes to AI agents. AI agents, um, the future of 2025, everyone's saying that there's going to be like 1 billion AI agents are coming. Don't even talk about robots helping people, basically, right? So, how do you see AI agents and agentic type of applications providing and guiding when it comes to all these technologies and all the technology making selection to making decisions?
Yeah, it's from an agentic point of view, what you're looking at is smarter and more a chain of thought and a continuity of completing tasks and actions in a connected way. So it's almost human-like capabilities are going to come to the agentic model. Again, with caution, it is an evolution. It is still getting better and improving, and it's going to be industry specific. And you still need to train it. You still need to go through the adaptation process. You need to still test it. 1,000 agents or 2,000 agents or 2 million agents is what is happening in the industry right now. It'll happen. You cannot stop it because it's easier to create this. It's getting easier and easier to create these models and deploy them in cost effectively. Um, so from a simple search, smart search, to a conversational chatbot, to conversational AI, to now agentic AI, agentic models, is the next step. What
And when it,
agentic model? Sorry,
in this particular article here, where Vox is talking about
yeah.
AI agents can do the real work, uh, do real work in the real world, that might not be a good thing, right? Why AI agents that could book your vacation or pay your bills are the next frontier in artificial intelligence, and they could do a lot, including claim that they're conscious, right? Not that we have should believe them, but there are one more important respect in which AI models are unlike people. They are process that are run only when a human triggers them and only to accomplish a specific result, and then they stop, right? So when it comes to some of the limitations and the challenges with AI agents in the future, yeah, it has its limitations, but as you mentioned, there's an evolutionary process to these agents, and we're still at the beginning of the frontier of this technology as well.
Yes, remember what I said in the selection of AI tools and implementing the process, you had to have human intervention, right?
Mm.
So in those processes, in consultation with your team, you will find where you want to have that human intervention. Say, for example, you can you can Google search and find almost any cure for any disease right now, right?
That's right.
So
Yeah, yeah.
so so yeah, but then I want my doctor to sign off on that, right? So
Mm.
a simple answer for that. And another thing is, it's like, what, if you look at cars, right? You know how we came from every 4 year the model changes. So now if you look at last 100 years, the model changes. When every time the model changes, it got efficient, it got faster, and it got safer. And then there was more rules and laws and crash tests and crash test standards. And so just an example, we will go through that here, but only thing is it's going to be a very compressed timeline, right? Um, so those standards will automatically come catch up, and those standards is what going to push out most of the weaker tools, to say. And then the public opinion, the social proof is going to come and chase out some of the companies who doesn't deliver what they promise. So there's a automatic filtration is going to take place on that. Coming back to agentic, everybody who is a little bit familiar with the chatbots and your conversational AI, now the chatbots is now the agentic models are a little bit more. They can do multiple tasks continuously without human intervention for a certain things. It can get better. This can really change the way you run your business, really remove certain inefficiencies to a next level, optimize a lot of processes, and also you will figure out in your own business, wow, why didn't I think of it moment, right?
Yeah.
So yes, you have to adapt agentic models, and also your older model is now going to be obsolete, right? So welcome to the software world. This version is no longer supported, right?
Yeah.
So now everybody has to move to the next gen, because it doesn't make any sense to support that rudimentary chatbot anymore, right? Now we have agentic models. So this is what we are talking about. It's a continuous learning and adoption, no matter what tools that you select.
I think it really comes down to like what you said earlier on, where it comes down to solving, real well-defined problem first. So you need to first define your problem or challenge that you're trying to overcome using AI, and then consider the tools that are out there, because it's really easy to fall down the rabbit hole, as we're calling it now, the rabbit hole of trends, right? Unless we can define the challenge very well, we're not going to really know sure how AI can really solve it. So I think even the agentic thing kind of fits in as well, because in some cases, right now at least, you still need a human, right? And it would be in the business's favor still to have a human, right? The empathetic part, depending on the nature of the business or the interaction, might still need to be there. But I like how you brought that up, the defining of the solution, sorry, defining of the problem first, and then looking into AI as a solution, because it's very easy to just jump on and to see, okay, writing, emails, what else can AI do for me? Reverse engineer that, right?
True, true. So the human intervention has to be look at it from a different perspective in terms of policies, controls, uh, um, and preventing biases and hallucination, those kind of things, and also sensitive data, what type of processes that you want to have, uh, and then agentic or not, you still need to have an escalation where
Yeah.
the client or the user can bring that case to the business, human level of interaction. And so don't fire everybody overnight because you implemented a tool. Your business won't be there
Yeah.
for too long if you do that. So again, now you don't need to hire new people. You can always train those people into a higher functionality, higher decision making team using these tools. And interestingly, the AI itself will help those staff to make better decisions by giving the needed analytics, the insights, and the challenges what the customer is facing, and the historical background of that customer. Now the human intervention is much more effective, and maybe it may even become one stop, that they don't have to escalate the call to the supervisor, to the senior supervisor, to the owner of the company, right? So that capability building is happening, the capacity building, and the ability for humans to solve certain things in a simplest way of customer challenges, how long they had to wait to get an answer. what are the issues that they're really talking about, and the solutions can be there for the human intervention point from another angle, say simply customer service angle, that they can provide the solution much more effectively, much more faster, much more precise, and your satisfaction level of your customers or users is going to increase. And there could be a defining difference between you and the competition. Yes, we are going through this process, you have to adapt it, but then I want you to understand the benefits of it from the angle of you making sure that you do it right and take the maximum advantage of the tools and solutions and enable the existing people, existing staff, even yourself as a business owner. Your decision making is now much more better because you're informed, you have the statistics, you have the
Yeah.
data, you have the use cases that you can. And this is given by the AI, by the way.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think AI is very powerful also in that area where you can make high stakes decisions with informed data, informed insights that's not easy for the human eyes to catch right away, and speed, tying that in as well, right? And accuracy, naturally.
That's right. And I'll finish it with few other things that if you are in a mid to high level enterprise, so transparency and explainability is very important. The regulation is coming. So it's viewed as a black box, but then you still need to be able to explain what the AI that if you're building any solutions, you have to watch out the transparency and explainability, fairness and accountability. Remember, it can be biased. So, how do you make sure that if you're using an AI to screen all the resumes, it is done in a fair manner? Accountability. So when the human intervention is there, the human injection is there to make sure that all the decisions, all the processes are done. Who is taking the ownership of that? You can't tell me, sorry, my AI did it. You can't tell me the tool did it. So
That's
the
right.
accountability as signing is going to be there, even though so the responsibility, who is in charge, who's going to sign off, that process has to be there because it could be a liability issue as well. And
100%.
then again mitigating the general biases and things depending on your industry stuff. So I'll leave it with
It's a
that.
very good point, Dave. Thanks for saying that.
No problem.
Dave, when it comes to AI and the future of AI, and I believe this is one of those things that it's unavoidable. You cannot, as a business owner, it's something that you cannot avoid. You have to be a part of. It's kind of like everyone has a website, right? Today, in the future, everyone has to be involved in AI or participate in AI in some way. It's going to be unavoidable. And what I heard you saying, there's accountability, responsibility, but when you're looking at those aspects, there's also the ethical background and consideration that also has to be addressed and looked at. From what Alex and I discussed a couple of days ago, fairness and bias with some of these tools, like 10,000 different types of tools, fairness and bias, safety, toxicity, hallucinations. You mentioned hallucinations, privacy, risk. So there's like so many aspects to consider when it comes to AI.
Dale, I thought today's goal is to help people not to get fatigued. Now we added a few more things. we gave
At
him
least we're stating
another
context,
list of
right?
things to add to their fatigue journey on
Yeah,
AI.
but
But
when you're looking at
yeah,
these tools, yeah, these are some things to consider. But I think the key thing here is because it's changing very, very quickly. There need to be a framework that you mentioned to make those selections because it can be overwhelming, right? It can be very difficult to come to those conclusions, come to those decisions. But go ahead,
right.
Dave.
No, but going back to those selection processes, right? Uh, Try to get to that if they're specializing in this industry, and then go to Gartner report and go to, let's say if you a little bit want to understand, there are certain things like Harvard Review and MIT Business Mails. You can subscribe to those kind of things to understand a few things, and then even some good journal they are related to AI. You can go there and just follow little industry trends in the specific area that you're interested in. and then come back to a discussion, come join a few forums, ask us the questions. If we are able to answer, more than happy. We may not be able to give you the right answer right away, but at least we can give you our insights and our experience, what we have gone through. So participate in the process and enjoy the process, and don't go into the paralysis mode of trying to understand 10,000 different CRMs, right? So that's my closing remarks for anybody who is in the journey of selecting the AI tools and 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 implementing, and then follow through on that commitment that you make to these new tool sets, because you can bring in all these tools, and if you don't commit to that change management, and if you don't get that buy-in from your stakeholders or your team, then it's another wasted exercise, right? So that is very critical to understand your business dynamics, your team dynamics, what tool you're injecting into these processes, because immediate skepticism could be pushback, rejection. Oh, somebody's going to take my job away. My boss is trying to fire me. No. So you have to get that buy-in with putting the benefits and showing them a change management plan, how this is going to increase the business, make their life easier. So those kind of not so AI components, which as a business owner you may be dealing with every day, has to be fine tuned into this AI component as well and applied on a day to day smart decisions, to keep that employee happiness, employee satisfaction. So happy employees, happy customers, right? Hopefully
So,
happy AI too.
so when it comes to the AI fatigue question, there's no doubt that we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution. We're at the beginning stages, similar with the .com boom. I was there at the beginning, and almost everywhere you look at, get a domain name, put up a website. It doesn't matter what it is. Pet food, cat food, dogs. Put something online. It was like this massive gold rush. And the same thing's happening right now in the AI industry. There's a gold rush right now in the industry. Everyone wants to be part of it. And one of the things that we find is that sometimes if you have a technology that's been around for 2 or 3, even 10, 15 years or so, are people really putting a lipstick on the application and saying, hey, it's AI now, right? So there's a process to reduce the amount of fatigue that you may be facing. There's a methodology, there's a process, and Dave has implemented a solution and strategy to help you to navigate that. So if you want to engage with Dave and AI B2B, so you can learn how to distinguish hype from reality, then by all means reach out to Dave, and he'll be able to help you do that. So Dave, how can we reach you?
So it's AIB2B.net is our website. We're keeping it very simple, so don't look for some highly sophisticated research material there. Very simple. We approach on a consultative basis. Let's get to know what challenge you're facing. So come through the website, the emails, the phone calls, everything is there. It's AIB2B. So 2 is a digit, AIB digit 2B.net. Looking forward to seeing you guys, and let me know if I can contribute anything in the future that you want me to cover.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dave. Thanks for your time today. Really appreciate you joining us, and looking forward to you.
Great hearing your insights, Dave. Thanks for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, I think I took about too quickly.
A little too soon, right? No, I think what was really great when you asked the question, how does like a mom and pop shop, how do they start navigating this? Because I think that's what the majority of people who are really stumped right now with AI, I think that's the area where they're coming from, small business. They want to get started, they want to scale, and they're hearing all the hype. And I think what Dave said there was really, really key, which I want to repeat. Really first define the problem, define the challenge that you're looking for AI to solve. And I think this is where it comes down to first, naturally, right? What are we looking at here? Are we looking at promotional materials? Are we looking at processes, systems? Because like we just saw, over tens of thousands of tools out there, right? But yeah, going back to that, we have to know what the problem is, because otherwise, instead of being something that can be of great value, it's going to be an expensive burden, right? It can be an expensive burden at the end of the day if we're not using it correctly.
Yeah, and the reality, I think, also is that we really, unlike any other technology out there, whether it's the internet, or whether it's Wi-Fi or cell phone technology, or whether it's um, whether it's it doesn't matter what technology that we've been that's been providing us solutions over the last 5-10 years or so, or even 25-30 years or so. What makes AI different? It rewrites everything. It rewrites the past, and it predicts and can have potential to rewrite our entire future.
Yep.
It disrupts every industry. It's disrupting everything, and we don't know where it's going to take us the next 15-20 years or so. We have no idea, and we're just hoping that the people who are in power will help us to navigate this future, so that we're able to have a successful outcome as we implement new technology tools. So, is there anything else you'd like to add in closing?
No, you pretty much summed it up. I mean, the overall goal is to have AI, integrate with our lives, not for us to integrate with AI itself, right? It's here we want it to serve us, essentially.
That's right. That's right. Well, if you like what you heard today, if you can share, and subscribe if we provide any value to you. And also, when it comes to your own tech, maybe you have a technology business, or we have a solution, a technology or system that really benefits people, enhances people's lives, and makes a difference, and using AI, reach us, connect with us on YouTube, send us a message, send us a comment to us on YouTube, and reach out to us, and maybe we'll have you on their show. We'll feature your product, and we'll share that with everyone as well. But reach out to us so that we can have a conversation and see how we can benefit you. But that said, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you again, Alex. A great show. Thanks for participating.
Great, always fun.
Of course, I want to thank Dave for his time once again, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.